I'm gonna try this again. I was talking a few minutes ago, and then I started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. So I had to stop so I could stop crying. And all it was I said a certain word, and I just burst into tears. I didn't even know I was gonna have a reaction like that to this word. It was so weird, but it was obviously very triggering for me. And I was talking about, like, I think it was the last full moon when I was talking about this heavy energy, and it just felt like suicidal. Like, what is the point to all this? It's just, it feels so heavy and horrible. And then plus, during this time of awakening, there's so many people going through so much stuff. And that's, one layer. And then another layer is we've got people in different realities, completely different realities. They think certain things are real while other people don't think it's real at all. There's people who think science is God and there is no God. I mean, so trying to, be having conversations and be on the same wavelength, it just seems to be impossible right now. Like, I can't find that out there, it is so, just the understanding between people and the words and conversations, that means one thing to one person, one thing to another person. You can say something and the person takes it in a completely different way than you even meant it. People that are just so unaware of their actions and their words don't align. I don't know if they're just so caught up in their own stuff that I don't know. I don't understand how this is all working. I know it has to do with consciousness waking up, and that has to do with awareness. It has to do with acceptance. The awareness it's just aware of life on another level. And it's being so showcased right now because of everything in our world that we thought was real is all falling apart. And it can seem like the whole world is shattering if you have no connection, especially if you're tightly connected to this three-dimensional illusion that was created, which a lot of these people, everything about them is tied to this. Like, they're almost an extension of this existence. They will fight for it. They don't, and they're, as they're going to put you in your place, their feelings are so tender, that they are just, it's like when you see those TikTok people and stuff, and you see them out there just, just doing this weird stuff, and probably getting put down, and they probably think like, I'm really putting myself out there, I'm really being my authentic self, and not getting accepted, and that's gonna hurt and stuff. But it's like they're not really putting their own authentic self. They're putting their invention to the matrix out there, their adaptability, their the creation of how the world was affecting them, So, and their feelings are tender and they're fragile and stuff, there's no question about that. Everybody's are, everybody's feelings are tender as you're healing. And there's so much healing that has to go on right now. And it's very difficult when we're all in different places in our healing, at different places in our growth, in different places in the universe, in different places in reality. like it's so complex right now, and it's very overwhelming, and I'm not surprised at all this moon would feel this heavy and foreshadowing, and just, oh my gosh, this just overwhelming sadness too. I would say the word that made me burst out crying, but I think I will do it again. It is and it is not a word that I would have ever even thought that would make me have such a visceral response. It's just like, oh my God, I feel like my body is kind of like even shaking. But those kind of triggers that come up, that we have to face, and so much it has to do with like what those people's feelings are hurt about, not being seen for who you are, being put into what other people see you as. Sorry, my eyes are killing me, especially crying and stuff. I really squinting. I really, sometimes I really feel like I should just go all Stevie Wonder and just start wearing dark glasses. I don't know, maybe my eyes look creepy, I don't know. But I know they're squinty because they just get so sore. I really want those med beds. Oh God, I really want those med beds. I really just want to start having healing in my body too. My body, I swear to God, 60 years of poisons. It's like, no wonder you see some of these old decrepit people and they're just falling apart. And it's such bad shape. And, it's a lot to fight these toxins for all these years of this slow poisoning that they've been doing to us. And, but, anyways, during this time, like I have my own stuff that I have to work on, because I have been working on my own healing for so long that I don't have a lot of patience for other people who are so stagnant in their healing, or so, there's certain things that I have seen the light of, like judgment and, putting people down, or there's certain things that I see as just being so counterproductive. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to say something that's going to hurt your feelings, because I also feel like we have to hear the truth. This is the time we need to see ourselves. We need to see ourselves through other people's eyes. And, but it is also, this is where it gets so complicated, is, and I don't want to tell too much about my stuff, because then that kind of throws somebody else under the bus, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to do that, or I'm way against that good guy, bad guy thing, I don't like that. To me, it isn't a good guy or a bad guy. It's this constant healing, and sometimes people are not in the same place. Stop. God, you guys, stop. Oh. And that's how it is too. They're just like totally on edge. It's really dark and dreary and rainy and chilly and just eerie. Dogs keep barking at nothing. Trixie, stop. God, it's eerie. But just like, there's certain things like you can't talk to people about. They just don't understand things on the same level. So, they are taking things completely different. And these people also have this kind of, it's hard to really, for me, to completely just totally identify. Like that SJW thing kind of like wraps it up, like they know the way for us all. They, need to put us all in our place. They are the ones who know what's right and what's wrong. And there's just a certain attitude about it. And So sometimes some of those people, it's like a non-stop narrative in your life that they're just, trying to tell you to steer you in what direction you need to go. Like, you need their guidance, otherwise, you're a failure. And, or who knows what you are, really. I don't know really anymore. I just feel like I'm living in a different reality of, it is wanting to heal, and it's wanting other people to heal, and it's wanting other people to see what's real, and to, understand that they are more, to connect to the bigger existence beyond this reality. And, whatever that is to people. And that's what it's all about. This nitpicking, just constant. If you're not in that, if you've left that three-dimensional kind of thing, this nitpicking all the time, it feels like someone's skinning you alive. I swear to God, I don't want to think about that stuff. I want to think about, the good stuff. I want to think about helping people, and about healing, and about all the possibilities that we have in front of us right now. We have an endless, but the people who can't see that are so caught up in this illusion world that they think that's all there is. And so their approach is so different. And this is, again, I'm right back to that thing of like, is this the splitting of these two realities? I mean, how are these people so locked into this one is great, while we have this whole other group that is so aware of the controllers? Like, we're all standing there, cheering on burn the melting witch, or whatever that was. And I'm picturing when the witch was melting and they were all singing and stuff like that. The witch being the big corrosive, controlling organism that took over humanity, and to watch it dissolve into, fumes, vapors, then that makes us all happy, while these other people are so, trying to help us figure out how we can be in their world and, fit into it. And, I don't know. But, for my own stuff, for my own healing, for what the stuff I went through in my life, part of my journey has been to learn to set boundaries for myself, to learn to take up for myself, to find balance. It was like using your femininity to claim a man, so you had that balance that you thought you needed in someone else, and I kept thinking I needed protection from somebody, and then it ended up being I always needed protection from the person I was expecting to protect me. So, I had to learn to find those things in me that I wanted from someone else. I had to face my dark sides, my weaknesses, and how I've hurt other people. And, through all of my growth and stuff like that, I feel like I've got really strong boundaries, and I have really, but one thing is too, is if you've been somebody who's never had boundaries, and people have stepped all over you, and say you've had husbands who, really talked down to you, and treated you like you were nothing and stuff like that, especially in front of the kids, no matter who the kids are, you kind of train the kids like, it's okay, that person, kick that person, fuck them, who cares, and it kind of becomes this whole toxic thing. But there's still a point where you're not, the person's having to is not the victim, because they're still participating. It's like, it can even be like these sadomasochist kind of people, you hate yourself so much, you're going to make sure you feel pain kind of thing. You know what I mean? At what level does this go to? Of what we allow other people to treat us like. But, after healing and stuff like that, you do get to a point where you recognize things that you just didn't recognize before. And you change your boundaries and stuff. And not everybody can accept the changes. And, but you can't really change how other people see you, and sometimes it's going to feel hard to remain true to yourself, especially if other people are bashing you down or something like that. And it's going to feel harder to stay true to yourself. But just remember, that is what's important, is to be true to yourself. Because no matter what, especially right now, while all these different people are going through their healing, there's going to be a lot of this dysfunctional kind of people wanting you to fix things for them, make it easier for them, or, not facing themselves, pointing fingers, it's other people's fault, That's going to keep going on. And you just got to, don't get caught up in it, That's all I can say is just, and it's hard, but just try and stay focused on yourself. Don't let someone else say it's your fault that they feel a certain way. Because if you start doing that, you start trying to fix all those things for everybody else, we just develop those same patterns, of what we've got right now. We see the results of that, of what this brings us. This is not where we want to go. We don't want to, need to fix things for other people. It's like that becomes never ending. That's that energy, either suck you dry when you're constantly dry. And there definitely is people who are those people who want to help everybody, fix everything for everybody. And then there's the people who just constantly need someone to help them or fix them and stuff. And sometimes, if you've had to fix your own life a bunch of times, you've had to dig yourself out of holes over and over, and your attitude when somebody is having a hard time is like, hey, you gotta dig yourself out of this shit. You are gonna have to do this. And maybe it does come across as cold or whatever, but that is just the facts. And once you go through it enough times, And one thing I've said all along, I'm been a lone wolf. It feels very much like that, like for my whole life. I've never really, always being that, always being the bad guy, always being the weird one, I don't know. Maybe it just sounds like I'm just being really depressed right now, because feels depressing. So probably should just stop talking. But anyways, just when you're trying to heal, just really, it's very hard to separate these things, and stay true to yourself. And you may be working on something that's going to trigger somebody else, and they're going to be very triggered. And we can't always just help each other at certain times, It's just the way it is. So we just have to keep on loving each other and accepting each other, and keep our eye on the prize of what our future is, what the future is of mankind, what we can create as human beings for our reality on this planet. So have a great day, And I just hope that some big things happen, like, and I feel like it would just really rock this energy in a new way, you know. So anyways, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.